And we should be back for the final session of this Kilwa campaign. So welcome everyone. And I've been kind of looking at the state of the game for a little while, like 15 minutes or so, and just trying to decide which war we go. Because this war will be the last one, most likely. And maybe you want to make it a little bit more of a bigger war. And something that caught my radar was actually this interesting alliance that if we just take a look at Delhi, for example. So they are allied with Arabia and Jungar. And they are receiving trade powers for Jampur. Well, to be fair, my initial plan, like initial plan, was to go for Jungar. Jungar is allied with Delhi, and also their independence is guaranteed by Shun. So it would be Delhi, Jungar, and Shun. But maybe if we just go for Delhi straight instead. Because if we do try to declare war on them, they just get Arabia and Jungar as their allies. Now Arabia is where exactly? It's like one province minor down here. So that's nothing much really. And Jungar, we can see that it's relatively small. So how many troops do they have? 67,000. Just a second. 67,000. So Delhi themselves actually have a decent amount of troops with almost 600,000. That would be a good battle in itself. I think we'll go for Delhi instead. Yeah, let's change our plans a little bit. For this to happen, we kind of need to move most of our troops to the west. So Jungar and Delhi will be our main targets. We'll also send somebody over to Arabia just to take it over. So they won't start messing around with us. Regarding that mission, I guess these guys can go down there. They do need a general, perhaps. And I will just send them to the closest province near Arabia. Now that should be covered. The rest of the moves that we make will be about moving everything closer to Delhi as soon as possible. As you can see, we only have like 2 years available to fight Delhi. And I'm really hoping we can make it. So we can clean up the map quite a bit. And perhaps take a bunch of lands from Delhi. Although if I just look at the timeline itself, our next coring will be done on February of 1821. But that means we can just grab all of the war score and not worry about the rebels after that. Okay, so everybody who is around here should start moving like to the southwestern part of Delhi. Yes, I do want you to stop autonomous sieging. We are in a bit of a pickle with when it comes to the generals themselves. We also want to make sure everybody is force marching. As many of the troops as possible. Now we can grab a few from the center here as well, I believe. They will offer some sort of resistance. Well, they should at least, on paper. Let's see how it ends up being. And we might also train some extra troops because, you know, the end of the game, why not? You guys stay and keep suppressing the rebels there. Where are you guys going? You're going to fight the rebels up here. We do have one group here also protecting against the rebels. So it looks like the troops near Shun would basically start moving towards this small area that we control in between the lands of Delhi. Now you guys just stay there and suppress rebels. Let's send you to Central Duab. Yeah, this is gonna take a little bit of time while we set it up. But I don't want to take this war too easily. I'm gonna need most of the troops there. We do have 2 million, so that's a bit of an overkill, but Delhi has 600,000 with 300,000 in reserve. And I'm sure they'll be gladly using those troops against us. They want to have some lovely battles as well, so we don't mind that. So we'll be approaching Delhi from the south mostly, just because it will be quicker, I believe. Southeast is the direction more specifically. And yeah, I'll even send the troops that are slightly further away, because by the second half of the war they should get there regardless. Okay, you guys will also move somewhere where you can just invade Delhi lands. And I'm thinking all of the other troops we have over here, you can just, as a group, start moving towards north. Go attack Jangar if possible. You guys as well, you're just chilling here. Okay. And one more thought I have is maybe we'll recruit some additional troops. Don't want to do it too close to the enemies because they'll just be ruining the compositions like that. But let's do some hits, siege, and let's do them, for example, here where Ayutthaya used to be. That's one group. We cannot make more than one group because we'll go over force limit. Not that it matters too much, but I'm surprised we actually hit it. Now, we can also invest in some technologies. We are not capping yet, so we can do it also in January, but I cannot see what else we'll be doing with the monarch points. Can also do some final buildings. Spend some money down. As you can see, we have over 500,000 ducats even after all the trade buildings. Let's do production next. Then we'll do some town halls, state houses. Also check the temples. Those will be finished before the end of the game. Nothing to do regarding the training fields and manufactories or furnaces. So that's pretty much all the money we'll be spending. Yeah, let's just upgrade the technologies because this is the last level of them anyway. And I don't think, well, at the end of the game, we don't really need all the extra monarch points anymore. Now, there are some exiled armies. Aha, that's because we have a bunch of troops over here as well, right? Well, I hope we sent them to reasonable spots back in the day. Now, when will we start the war? Let's maybe wait until January, because I don't think we have a free diplomat anyway. Quite a long list to scroll through our armies. Yeah, so whenever the first diplomat gets back, basically. And also, we don't really need to build spy networks for Spain or for Turkey anymore. The same thing is for Italy. And yeah, whatever we were doing in Mecklenburg can also be delayed. We do want to send one spy to Delhi to start building the spy network, just to make the sieges a bit faster. Now, please give me a minute before we continue. Make sure the stream is running a-okay. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now back to the game. As I said, we need our first diplomat to be back, and that could be like a good trigger point for also starting the war. And it is going to be a race against time. Because things are happening. The House of Mita is doing something. Well, we get local unrest, and missionaries have a tougher time to convert in a region. Spain is no longer a valid rival. And then a bunch of other diplomatic topics. Also, we have a new heir who will not be able to rule, according to my calculations at least. Sultana might still get a chance though. And we do have a costly embargo now as well, which we cannot revoke, I believe, again, because we don't have any diplomats available. Okay, let's proceed. Sorry, Jungar, I'm about to fight you. No need to do any royal relationships at the moment. What is going on with the Sheikh ul Islam? We can let us select the foremost and most loyal mufti into this position. Okay, we just get the bonus choice basically. And given our current situation, I'd say it doesn't matter much. Let's just take the national tax modifier plus 10%. And let's unpause again. So we have a lot of troops coming in. I believe these guys could also join the war sooner rather than later. Somebody else wants the royal marriage. That should be our march. So that's fine. Now the diplomats will be coming back in 12 days and 18 days. These are still doing something automatically. Let's give them a moment. Basically at the beginning of the next year we'll be able to get the war going. Okay, so first diplomat this year. You will be... Actually the spy network I will start building later. I will stop the embargo first. Then the next thing that will happen is the war. And then finally we have to remember to also start building the spy network. So some of the troops are already at the border of Delhi. That's good. Now we have another diplomat that's free. This means we can start the war. So Delhi will be the main target. There are no penalties to the stability. Good to know. Arabia can be co-belligerent. Jangar cannot because that will be pull in Shun, which we don't want right now. So you can see basically Delhi has most of these troops, meaning 200k infantry, 150k cavalry and 300,000 artillery. Let's get this party started. Just double checking everything. Yeah, looks good. So we can go for Arabia straight away. And then we can start assigning the troops that we have here already. Start fighting against Delhi. Now we are kind of lacking generals. So whichever generals are not near the war zone at the moment, they should be freed up. A bunch of them you can still see over here. And also grab a general from these guys and one from here. What about you? Can I grab a general from you? Yes, I can. You should move back to our lands. One more. Freed up. And there's two more generals. There's a bunch of generals here actually. That should suffice for our war needs. And a 3-star general. Just chilling here against the rebels. Nothing in Africa remaining. This general we cannot take away. It's just the general of the rebel or mercenary forces themselves. What about these two groups? No. And also no. There may be something in Japan. Nothing. Are you guys moving at all? You aren't actually. Why aren't you moving? Maybe you go towards Younger then. And these two groups can be reunited, but while they're not, I'll just grab their general as well. Okay. So we'll start from southwest. Everybody get the general as a first thing. Who has already arrived on the borders. And we'll try to do this systematically. Maybe you guys shouldn't go alone to Onjikala because you'll get wrecked by Delhi troops. Just reinforce southwest. Now, what about the fortresses? So I don't see many fortresses on the southwestern border. The first ones are like in Chor and Ghazni. So I guess that's where we'll be heading first. You will be giving your artillery as a backup. Also making sure to force march. And the other troops will be kind of just following suit. So these two southern provinces can just be grabbed, I believe, without any issues because they're separated from the other Delhi regions by these mountains. And we do have a decent level 6 fort over here. We'll have to keep an eye on where the Delhi troops emerge because... Where are you guys going actually? You're done with the rebels, so maybe you just kind of scared the troops of Delhi here a bit. We at least have two full groups, or almost full groups available here. And you guys will also go to the north instead. Changed my mind about you. Yeah, just go somewhere here. We'll be on the borders of Jangar and Delhi. Now these first groups are arriving to the southeastern borders as well, and I see Purang is like a nice destination for them. And you guys then are a little bit locked in your movement. I'll on pause for a second. You'll loan your artillery to the siege there as well. And you guys just... Wait, I forgot to put the siege on force march, of course. And then the next groups will... let them move a little bit closer. Jaunpur is also moving for some reason. I'm just checking. Are we fighting against Jaunpur or not? No, we're not. That's fine. So we did have the first battle against Arabia. I kind of missed it. Seems like we stacked wipe the enemy and we'll take down Arabia quite quickly. So pretty much 23 months remaining until the end of the game. That is our goal when it comes to when we want to finish the game. Actually, just all the troops that are even like... Actually, I still want to keep these suppressing rebels here because they're going to be annoying otherwise. And I have a clean ending. Can you guys maybe fight Jangar? Would that be an option? On the 8th of February you will arrive in Almaty. So I'm a bit late when it comes to that, which is fine. And you can see some of the troops of Delhi are emerging from the southeast. That works for us. Ideally we want to grab them on the provinces of our own fortresses. Now we have won the siege of Yarbin, which was the single Arabian territory. And you guys will be also heading towards the fight against Delhi. Now you can see 100,000 troops over here. There's like close to 200,000 troops. The east of the previous group. Yeah, they have a bunch of troops that they can deploy, but so do we. Just need to somehow catch them in opportune positions. We have a level 6 fortress that's being sieged relatively quickly here. Let us make this into a state so we can put defensive edict on and slow those Delphi troops a little bit down. Also the first territory of Delphi captured. I think we can go for these guys here as well once we grab. Run. Okay, sweet. Now one group should ideally be enough to go for these guys. Let's see how tough they are to fight. I do have to pay attention to what is going on down here because Delhi has a bunch of troops gathering up. We also want to do the same, so we just want to position the troops close to our fortresses on the defensive side, but okay, we capture a few extra free provinces. This one is not going that quickly, but we still have the artillery that's about to arrive here. Now the question is, should we go for Ghazni at the same time? I think so. No. It would be like a circle around the mountain, so we might keep it the way it is. Also, it seems like, yeah, we could take a few extra provinces that we just took out from being territories. Let's unpause and keep observing the situation because it changes basically every day, right? Now, what can we do about Jangar? We have a bunch of troops in the north already. Jangar doesn't have many fortresses. To be fair, they only have the level 1 capital fortress, which makes conquering of their lands quite easy. That means once we do stack wipe their troops, they're kind of out of the game. I will just send everybody who is coming from the east into the lands of Jangar. Maybe one more group we can reassign. You will go to Altay, for example. And yeah, the situation in the south is fascinating, to say the least. I don't like what's going on with Korvar fortress, but they are sieging it with maximum force, so not much to do about it just now. But we can do something about Kairpur, I believe. We lost a military leader. It's okay, we'll recruit. Actually, we have a few free ones still. So these guys are just retreating from the fortress. And then again, somebody's arriving in Lower Doab. It is farmlands, so not many negative modifiers there. We need more troops to arrive here, basically. 3 or 4 groups should do it. Okay, the siege of Korvar is unfortunately over. We do have backup fortresses here, you can see in Mevar, in Chittor, and a few other areas. Now the question is, can we go for this group before the Korvar troops get to us, basically? You can also see the siege progress in Chor. Went to 0% already, thanks to the extra artillery. Now I want to check that nothing else is going on that's overly fun to look at while we're fighting in one of our own fortresses. See what we're rolling nicely, and maybe we'll stack wipe them even. Yeah, that's the thing that happened. So that's the first full group down. And eager to go for the next ones. Okay, so you guys, since you're already here, you should go to Ghazni. And you should go help them out here. And now my question is, can we go for lower Doab or maybe meet enemy troops in Kora already? They're definitely not force marching, but are they fully? Oh, they're mostly cavalry. So these three groups should be enough to go fight them. And that's what we'll do. While the other troops are still arriving, you guys need a general. And you will be also going for... just go closer. Anyone else without a general? Yes, there is. A mercenary group, actually. And then there are a few more arriving without generals. It's okay, we got you covered. Perfect. Now let's keep pushing forward. This group does have an assignment. Nice. What about you? Yeah. So we are at 1% war score. So we have some rebel activity. That's gonna be taken care of. You guys maybe you'll make it to the war, we'll see. Do we have a general for you? Nope. Or just walk closer to the war. We'll deal with it later. Okay. We are grabbing a few of the freebies over here. But we will be able to catch them up in Kora. Just curious to see what our 120,000 troops can do. They also don't have a general, which is kind of a huge disadvantage. And yeah, you can see the numbers are going down really, really fast for them. So I'm imagining it will be another stack wiping. It's like 60,000 of their troops just gone like that. Now, what can we do with the rest of the troops they have here? So you can see they're sieging two of our fortresses. One is on hills and the other one is on hills. I think we'll go for the closer one and just hope they won't manage to bring a lot more troops than that. You guys will also join the fight over here. And actually everybody who is coming, just join the party, please. In terms of siege progress, yeah, this one is more critical. Can we do defensive edict? I think we can. And let's do it. Guess we can for a few extra provinces now. Okay, so let's unpause and proceed. There is a peace offer from Arabia. We can decline. Now curious to see what the next battle will bring us. Oh, you can see what's going on over here, right? So basically they want to fight us in Purang. Purang is mountains, so we'll be at a huge disadvantage, but that's okay. We'll just bring in more troops from here. Instead of going to the west, you'll go straight north. And hopefully you'll be able to intercept whatever is about to happen here. So on the 9th of May, the battle will begin. They're not even locked in terms of the movement, so they might still change their mind if they see a lot of our troops moving there. Okay, you can see they're kind of retreating from one of the sieges. Reinforcing, or trying to reinforce. Okay, let's see what's going on in Jungar for a second. We grabbed a bunch of their territories. Now, I think we'll just keep pressing towards the south, though, with these groups that already took some land. You can see that Kochkor could be an interesting target. We will need some extra artillery for that one as well. Please do force march. And the rest of that group will just be for backup. And the same we can go say actually about this group here. So the north should be covered. South is going to be interesting in multiple areas. Let's proceed and see what happens. The Gulf of Siam, Philosopher. Oh, we lost an advisor at the end of the game. It's okay, we'll replace this advisor with somebody who is of an accepted culture in Kilwa. It seems to be there's only one candidate for it, which is about yearly inflation reduction. We'll push you up to +5 admin power per month. Make additional cores here. Maybe we can actually sue peace with Arabia, or we'll accept a peace deal from them. Let's see how much overextension. So it's just 2%. They're not happy with it. Okay, so they were offering some weaker kind of a peace deal, I guess. So we'll keep the war going. They were almost happy to agree, but not quite. Now you can see that the enemy is retreating from Chittor as well. And they'll be out of it on 7th of May. Let's wait one day. Let's see if we can catch them or not. You guys are going there. Seems like we will be able to catch the enemy. Sweet. And we'll have some reinforcements coming in as well, because we're not at maximum morale with those guys. Yeah. So there will be a bunch of battles. First one will be actually here on the 6th of May. So let's keep an eye on that. Also, remember I've said something about building a spy network? I totally forgot about that. But it should speed up our sieges. Still worth it at this point. Shu separatists are doing something that will be nulled anyway. And there is some potential for stack wiping, but I think this time they'll get away. And another battle is going on here. We do have a -2 terrain bonus. But with some reinforcements incoming, I'm hoping we can hold on long enough to mitigate that negative modifier. You can see that they'll be arriving in 10 days. The battle itself actually is going really nicely. Okay. Let's take a pause again. So you can see that they do some infantry. All of the artillery is still fine. And they did manage to retreat, unfortunately, this time. But what I want to do with these groups specifically is that I want to stop them from force marching. Can I stop it? Okay, I can stop them now. So they can recover their morale a little bit. But they can also just move to Bundi, for example. The mandatory group with artillery will be joining there. And the rest of the troops will just kind of spread out all around. There is a fortress here as well. So basically what we want to do is just grab a little bit of artillery for the fortress in Chanderi as well. Yeah, it might be a stack wiping situation if you roll nicely in this battle as well. So some of the troops arrived here. I want you guys to provide your artillery for the siege in Chanderi. And then you guys can just be somewhere close. And you'll just stay right here. They do have some reinforcements coming in as well. I believe they won't make it there quickly enough to be locked on their movement, so most likely they're just retreating after the fight that's going on in What was this province? Purang, yeah. Okay, in the meantime, yes, we have some troops coming in from the lands of Shun. And they can kind of take care of the rest of Changar. So that we'll take all the provinces of Changar that we can. Now, anything else needs our attention here? You guys. We'll go to... I believe somebody's already moving to Karamektan. You guys can just go to the north, I guess. Start sieging from there. How many troops does Telchi have remaining? Still a bunch, so that's 400, 500 something thousand. Well, not just Telchi, but all of them together. And we did not manage to stack wipe them in Purang. That's a bit unfortunate. But there are more troops still on the way. Question is, shall they keep moving towards Purang or not? Seems like they're kind of committed. Will they really? That's a surprise. Oh, they actually went for the fight. Well, works for us. Where are these guys retreating to, though? Can we maybe stack wipe you still? We're about to find out. They're going in circles. You guys, maybe you stop sieging here and just kind of hunt these guys a little bit. Looks like they will be just stopping somewhere nearby here. No. Yeah, well, we do have some extra troops coming in from here, but I don't want to take any risks. If we can stack wipe them, that's going to be brilliant. Anything else we can core here? Not at the moment. These guys can move forward. And you can also loan your artillery to the siege group nearby. To force march. And unpause again. I think the speed at which we're going right now is decent, and it's only gonna speed up, that's my estimation. So the siege of Gore is done. As we were talking about the speeding up part. Can we go to Kish? That would be lovely. That's already quite the distance into their country. Let's just send you guys a little bit forward. They do have a bunch of fortresses like in the middle here. It's their southern part, I guess, or southeastern part. Aha, so we do have a battle against the troops that we just routed. Good chances of seeing another stack wiping coming in. Ooh, they do have a reasonable amount of troops arriving here. Now the battle will be commencing on the 8th of June. But if we do this thing called... Can we do Scorch Earth? Then we will delay them a little bit. So it's going to be 8th of June. We do need more reinforcements coming in here, so... Sorry guys, you've been moving in the wrong direction. Why are you just not moving at all? Or just moving at such a slow speed? Yeah, some of the troops are missing force march, I can see. Including the new ones. So lots of things going on. We do have a prime opportunity to take care of a bunch of troops over here in the north. Just that like it's not that easy because they have around the same amount of troops as we do. And you guys are just finally I could catch you so you can force march yourself to the north. And the next battle will start on the 9th of June. And which one to look at? I don't know. Let's maybe look at both of them at the same time. Again, the 60,000 troops arrived relatively early, which gives us a little bit of a buffer. Means that our troops that are coming in from the south can perhaps join the battle before it's over. They're 162,000 troops. They just keep bringing in more, right? We should definitely not underestimate the enemy here. Thing is, like, these troops down here in the south will not make it there on time. These three groups might make it. These ones will probably be late as well. And they still have like 162,000 troops remaining here. So in 4 days, the next group will get there. That's a big one. That's like 60,000 troops. And then the next ones will be like 25th of June. No, actually 25th of June is going the other way around. So the 30th of June will go. So they'll get 60,000 reinforcements. Kind of exciting, I must admit, but we cannot forget about the other directions as well. Because yes, it might be interesting in terms of the battles, but we still need to capture the land of Delhi or just increase our war score as well. Yeah, everything else seems to be under control. Only this area is a little bit concerning. We can see that in a few days Delhi will have reinforcements. So now their morale is way higher than ours. And only on the 11th of July we'll be able to bring in more reinforcements. That is a long time. And you can see we are suffering in terms of our morale. It's going quite low. Question is, can we hold on for another 10 days? I'm a bit skeptical about that. Yeah, especially if it's like 12,000 minus. So maybe... Yeah, it's already locked in terms of that group here. Can you guys take a leader as well? We should have one slot free. I don't think we'll win this specific battle here. Yeah, we actually lost it already. Problem is that we keep getting more troops coming in. And they keep getting more troops getting in. So I think we'll lose one of the groups. That's just on their way. Let's do Scorcher. What does it do? Nothing, I guess, here. We need to regroup in the east. That is the state of things. They did bring a lot of troops there, though. At least half of their remaining army. But yeah, this group will be lost. This 41,000 troops. But they also get some of their wins. Nothing to core still. I'll close a few of these notifications because they're more like distracting our views than giving us anything useful. Yeah, let's just keep the siege notification up there. Now, what is going on in the other areas of Delhi? But yes, we know we cannot probably... We're gonna get stack wipe with this 41,000. It would be a miracle if they get out of here. You can still see there's 3 days remaining and 2 days. Yeah. Okay. One of our groups has been lost to the enemy. The bigger problem is that we lost the siege. That's kind of stopping us from migrating into Delhi from the east. You guys can maybe move a bit forwards. You guys just go for Gorvar maybe? Just take it back. We can loan the siege from this troop to siege Gorvar. You, yeah, just leave the infantry taking care of the other territories. Okay, CV has been occupied. There is another fortress over here, as you can see. We do have the troops to go for it as well. And the artillery is not too far away either. Okay, so we're doing like 4 or 5 sieges at the same time. And we have 1.5 years remaining, give or take. Now, I guess the most exciting part is what is there? What are their troops going to be doing here? They have like 250, 200, 290,000 troops here. Wow. But they're retreating at this point, right? Going back to Chaparang Fortress. And probably trying to push us back in one of the other directions. Are there any other troops that are arriving? Well, there is a bunch from the north that are taking over the lands of Jangar. There is this one fortress in Kochkor that's maybe on the way. Can we go to Shrimkent? Yes, we can. So as usual, we need the artillery support with force march. And whoever can join just to reinforce. You guys can go here maybe. And you'll go to Sozak. And then the other troops that are arriving, you can go to Jemenika. And these troops I'll send a little bit deeper into the lands of Delhi. Wherever we can send them, not really far away though. That's the situation. Yeah, we don't have anything against 250,000 troops in the east. So the siege of Chanderi is done. Brilliant. Your guys' next target will then be Delhi. Their capital, isn't it? Sounds like it is. You guys are not force marching because I remember putting at least one of you in that state. Okay, you will go over here, whatever this province is called. And we can proceed. Again, Delhi has enough troops to cause us some issues. Especially on the areas where we are lacking the reinforcements. You can see that some of the troops arrived here and will be recovering shortly. I will send them back north though. Because whatever is going to be happening can happen again. And what I mean by that is that basically if you go to Purang again, I'm pretty sure they want to fight us once more. Now where did we lose the general? I guess these guys lost the general. It's okay. We can be without the general for a little bit. So the siege of Ghazni is done. We can push you forward to Roh maybe? Yes, we can. And just push the other supporting troops further as well. So if you look at the big picture, Jangar is basically taken over. We know the status of Arabia. And if I'm optimistic, we'll have almost a third of Delhi under our control. That is relatively very optimistic. But yeah, let's keep pushing maybe to Purang. We do have a huge advantage in Purang though. But maybe we want to keep them busy in the east here. So that the other wings can keep pushing. So we have 2 troops going to Purang. The other ones are recovering slowly. There are a bunch of them. There is one more group coming in. Brilliant stuff. I don't think I can grab anyone else that's remotely close to where we need them to be. Okay, the siege of Kish is almost done. Also done. That means you just go to the next province, which is Kulop, right next to you guys. One thing we could have used in Purang was this ability to take down the walls or breach or whatever it was called. Maybe we could have taken over that fortress and just gotten the +2 bonus to the dice rolls instead of -2. So they are amassing here in a specific province against our fortress. Can we do... We can kind of do defensive edict here as well. Shall go for it. Means we can take a few provinces. Again, I'll close the notification for now though. So there are some random Delhi troops that we are capturing because they're retraining. Or their reserves. 244,000 still remaining. There is a peace offer for Arabia, which we will have to decline. I still am curious if the Arabia maybe would be interested to surrender their single province to us, and they are interested to do that. And we do have the war expansion capacity to take it on without any extra issues, so goodbye Arabia. That leaves us with two enemies in this war, Jangar and Delhi. And Jangar is also pretty much fully occupied, meaning that maybe we can send more troops to the south. It's okay if they stack on the same province. We have a lot of manpower remaining. You guys just keep taking over the freebies over here. Now these guys are kind of alone. There's not much in terms of reinforcements nearby, so that's a little bit concerning. Also the siege of Bandi is done, and that means we can move you guys where exactly? Maybe we should approach them over here in Garwal. Is it hills? It is hills. So we would get like a relatively nice bonus to our attack rolls, I think. So we'll do force march everything. And everything force marches. Right. You guys are not force marching. Everybody else is. That's not enough troops, I'm afraid. Meaning that we should send these guys there as well. Because we can see a bunch of their troops are just gathering together here. Now we are hoping on not losing a few rolls here. At least one would be nice, two would be amazing. 7% success chance for them is something they'll be hoping for. Okay, let's see. Army Reformer, we also lost an advisor from the military category, and there is nobody we can replace them with, so we'll just refresh our choices, so to speak. And the last one goes. So at the beginning of next month we'll be able to really get the better advisor there. Now Turkish separatists are doing something. These guys are taking care of it, or at least, whoa, there's 63,000 of them. Is there a troop nearby who is not suppressing rebels? No, there isn't. Because they'll be too afraid to approach these guys. You just have to manually force them to go there. Don't also have a general for you guys, but I'll recruit a new one. You got quite a decent one. Now let's unpause for a second again. So if water shortage helps us a little bit, we can move our troops closer. Also we breached their walls. Now the question is, okay, we finished the siege of Kochkor. This means we can push forward to the south. We have choices here. I think we'll go with Kashgar for these guys. And maybe we can set up another siege group to go for Ukshend. Oh, it's so easy to butcher these names. Where can we grab the siege support from these guys, I guess? Yes. Force march and go to Uskend as well. And the infantry can just grab a few freebies over here. You're also just doing nothing, so please move. And yeah, the main danger zone is here, actually, near our fortress. We'll keep an eye on what the enemy troops are doing. Definitely want to move in before the end of the next siege phase, because there's a high chance we'll be losing that fortress with the next dice roll. Now we can do artillery barrage in most of the siege fortresses. We will not need much of the military power going forward. Yeah, let's unpause. What I want to check is if we start moving there, it's going to take us 5 days to get there. And siege phase is 27 days left, so we have a bunch of time to gather a little bit more troops. Now I do want to do barrage over here as well. Hoping to catch this fortress with the next round so they can also join the battle in the north. Seems to be like an epic battle upcoming here. And we should have the advantage, because we are controlling the fortress. Okay, there was some rebel activity that was stopped. Now these guys, you're moving somewhere important, right? Yes, you are. We have a little bit more than a year remaining to take care of Delhi. And I would say we are on schedule more or less until now. Okay, the siege of Terahat is also done. You guys can maybe move. Like, I'm spreading these troops thin here. If we send you to Dialpur, is it gonna be too far away? We're about to find out. Okay, so siege remaining time is 14 days. We wanna have it like, let's say 8-7 days. They also are bringing in more reinforcements, as you can see. They actually want to go to Delhi instead. Let's see as well. Okay, so 7 days remaining. Let's move everybody in. It's gonna be an important battle. You guys will join if possible. But they are definitely trying to surround Delhi with a lot of troops, as you can see. So my only hope is that we will roll successfully and take over the fortress. The siege phase is lasting 1 more day. Lovely. This is what we wanted. Now the question is, where do we send these troops? You do have a general with you. I don't want to leave them in Delhi because they'll be surrounded in a moment. These guys are going to Paranpur. And it's hills again. How about we just retreat a little bit to the south? Otherwise we'll be stuck here. Yeah. So a big battle incoming. But before that we have Gorvar back. You guys will be... Will you be okay if you go to north as well? Because we're going for this siege over here, but maybe we'll go also for Lahore. We'll see. So you can see we'll be there on the 7th. I did not make any miscalculations here, right? So on the 7th and the battle will begin, and there's 4 days left on the siege phases. And it looks like they will be bringing in more reinforcements, which means we will be bringing in more reinforcements. You guys will also be maybe getting a part of the action. So we do have the upper hand, as you can see. There is one negative roll modifier from the terrain. Now even if we lose that battle, it'll be fine. But ideally we will not lose it. Anyway. Yeah, okay, you can go to Zozak. We just keep pushing forward from the north. And also let's do a barrage over here. Let's check out the military advisor. Maybe they'll be able to help us a little bit in this battle as well. So none of these are of a culture that we approved. But let's still grab one of them. Like for example, morale of armies helps a little bit. You can see that they are probably going to outnumber us quite heavily. We did capture one of their reinforcements here nicely. Well, they also captured our reinforcement by doing that, but it's okay. Stack wipe those reinforcements. And yeah, just keep moving forward with everything we have. Will you guys make it there as well? I don't know, we'll see about that. It's a really important battle, but they're outnumbering us by a lot at this point. To have 60,000 troops coming in from here. Is there anything else we can do to make sure we don't lose this battle? I mean, that was a nice ratio in terms of numbers. Ulob is also done. Yeah, the troops from the north will not be able to help just because there are so many fortresses in between the battle and our troops. You guys will... You cannot go forward because of the fortress in Roch, I see. That means I'm just grab a few freebies over here as well. And this fortress is also just started the siege. We will do another barrage here. It will get artillery help in a bit. But yeah, this is the most interesting battle right now going on. Let's check the rolls. So we did roll nicely the last time. Also this time we are ahead of them in terms of the rolls. And we do have some reinforcements still coming in. Still outnumbering us though. But they ran out of reinforcement, so they have pretty much everybody on the field. We still have 61,000 troops at least coming in. And we do have the roll bonus as well. So Shun separatists, good to know. Perhaps somebody can take care of them. Why are you guys not doing anything? Because it's not your area of expertise, is it? That's okay. There's another troop over here. That's just not doing anything. Oh, you can just go there. Okay. This is like the final big battle of the campaign, I would say. We are being outnumbered. Let's keep checking the rolls though. We did roll quite badly last time. But they are retreating. That's an interesting turn of events. Okay, that's good for us, I guess. But we do have more than 300,000 troops that are just all stacked together here. Okay, so what we will do with these troops? We'll send the artillery and one full group over here to siege the Kanawi. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Fortress. And then there is another siege group over here that we'll send to the next eligible siege. And now the rest of the troops will just kind of spread out in various provinces nearby. Kind of do need a lot of troops to be recovered. We do have the manpower for it. Oh, there are so many troops in this single place. Okay, let's let it settle a little bit and then we'll see what happens. And in the meantime, you guys can just move a little bit forward. All of this area has been taken by us. And basically a few fortresses are preventing us from moving pretty much anywhere else. And armies on missions are too afraid to engage enemies. Now this means that most likely we need to bring somebody in who can take care of the rebels from Japan, I guess. We do have the transport ships nearby. Let them just ship them over. Now the siege of Kashgar is done. That was a good one. Stopping us from going further to the south. But that means we can also push more troops to the south from here. And there was also a siege going on here, I see. Do we have another general available? No, we don't. So you guys will just go to Ladakh. And the other troops will just move a little bit closer to the south. I guess that's all I can give them to do for the time being. Okay, Jarjui has been occupied by us. That was a freebie. You can see Kunduz is also available. Now the question is, where will they retreat and how fast will they recover? Because 300,000 troops are still a threat to any of the smaller groups that we have around here. Upper Doab is ours. Now you can see still 2 groups over here. But we need to spread out. You guys go to Mevar and the other ones will just remain around here. Okay, the siege of Roch and the siege of... Wow, a lot of sieges going down at the same time. So the Roch one is interesting because it should open up our passageway to the southeast from here. Yeah, let's just keep pushing forward. What was the other siege though? Will I be able to find it easily? I guess not. Yeah. Okay, Parapat has been occupied by us, sure. I'll just leave these troops here for a few months so that they can recover more or less fully. I see some action going on over here. It's okay, we can mitigate it just by going into Ipalpur. Can we do artillery barrage over here? Yes, we can. Let's keep an eye on where the enemy troops are heading. You can see they're retreating somewhere past us. So they're going to Roch at least. Let's see how this goes now. I might just follow them around a little bit in case we get the chance to take them down before their morale recovers. Okay, Shun separatists are doing their thing. We already have some troops assigned to that place. You guys can just move around. And you also... I guess this was another siege that ended in Chumkentia. It had a level 8 fortress. I do want to send troops more to the south if possible. So a lot of action going on here. Most of the troops of Delhi have been routed, so they're just running somewhere. Not sure where. We can capture a few of the new trainees that are just arriving from the training centers. And we do have a bunch of sieges still ongoing here. Yeah, the enemy has remaining how many troops? So 200, 370,000. Definitely less than before. Make some additional cores here. Okay, finally some rebel group got wiped. Now, where are you guys going? And how big of a problem will you be? Because 105,000 Delhi troops, you guys just follow them along. Would be nice if we capture them in that size of a chunk. Mevar was over here that we captured, just a freebie. Now Margella has been occupied. Tashkent. Just grabbing all of the provinces we can right now. You guys will go here. Are the enemies retreating? Well, they must be retreating to Uskend then, perhaps. You can see these are going to Gujand actually. Might be the quickest way to Uskend. But Uskend is also ours. So even if they go to Gujand, they might just have a surprise from our own troops waiting for them. And a bunch of them went into the south west, but they're trying to take back the fortress of Derajat. Well, we don't want them to do that though. Can we stop them at the moment? How long is the siege phase? 16 days. So 16 days remaining for this one and 27 days in total. Just that all of our troops over here are kind of low on manpower and everything else. Okay, you guys. Yeah, it's just a few key fortresses that still have not fallen yet. Would be interested to take down. But this siege in Dejarat is picking up a lot of speed. It is in highlands. In terms of territory bonus and stuff, I'm not sure. Is it 0 or not? For the fortress controller. Okay, we have some action regarding Turkish separatists here. Oh, just send this group over here. Take care of the rebels as well. And yeah, you can see the troops from Japan have arrived, taking care of the rebels in the east. Now, Delhi has 175,000 troops in the south, and if I remember correctly, 100,000-ish troops in the north. But where are they going? I have no idea. Looks like Samarkand might be the destination. So everybody just meet up over there. Let's hope the full 100,000 will go there. So we can kind of make sure that they're taken care of in terms of hospitality. So the siege over here is at 0% now. We might lose that specific siege. It's because we're kind of all over the place at the moment. So the siege of Tipalpur is also done. Can we grab some of Delhi troops? Yes, we can. It's 21,000, for example, here. Wait, are you guys? Yeah, you are force marching. Will they stop the siege though, just to come back to fight us in Multan is the question. Looks like they will do that. And we are locked into this maneuver already. So what we might want to do is just kind of bring all our troops from the east. But we can. Everybody just force march. You guys as well. Mercenaries are not an exclusion to this plan. And seems like everybody who we want to be there is force marching. I just want to make sure I don't stop any sieges too fast. Let's see what's about to happen here. So we are fighting them now. They stopped the siege. Okay, that was just a random rebel battle that just got taken care of now. They will get there by the 16th of March, and ideally we'll just stack wipe the enemy troops before the rest of them get down there. And in the meantime, we've been fighting the other troops in the north. All of them are here. Are they gonna get stack wiped as well? Again, I don't know which one to look at, but I guess the northern battle is actually the one that's more interesting. So they did get stack wiped, close to 100,000 troops. Ouch. That's a huge loss. But we have to kind of untangle the troops we have over here now. Send them more towards the south. And yeah, I don't think we need these troops anywhere much. Just a second. But they can be there for reinforcements purposes anyway. And you can see there's another battle ongoing over here in the south. Also, we stacked wipe the troops that came to fight us. Well, we went to fight them. Now you can see that everybody is moving to Karor instead. So they're not coming for us. What a surprise. Okay, you guys are just moving a little bit towards the north. How many troops does Delhi and Jungar have now? So it's 130, still 250,000 troops, more or less. Just a second. Okay, we're back, and yeah, a bunch of troops still to take into account, but Jungar troops are kind of isolated from the other enemy troops, which is a good thing. Now Wuchang has been occupied by us. So any remains of the rebels have been eliminated. And what we want to do next, ideally, is just fight the enemy troops in Karor. We do have to keep in mind what date it is, not to forget about finishing this war at the right time. Now, yeah, please everybody move closer to the battle. Still don't have enough troops to fight Delhi just now, but we're almost there. Okay, I think 165,000 is enough. Let's just go for it. And once we're done with this battle, there's just a few sieges remaining. Can we do... Yes, we can do artillery barrage for this one. Yeah, that's like the most behind in terms of the sieges that are ongoing. There is one siege that we have not yet started. It's in Lahore. And I think you guys should just head there instead. And get the siege going. And we'll give you the artillery barrage as soon as it's ready. Because we don't have that much extra military power. So Jarapang is also done, meaning that these guys can go and fight Jangar. Good news. And in the meantime, the fight against Delhi is happening again. Let's just enjoy it. We aren't getting like amazing rolls here. I think they'll be able to retreat again. Definitely not gonna stack wipe that big of a group. Now some rebels have been taken care of. Floods are happening and so on. Oh, it's actually a... Wait. Okay, never mind. This fortress is the one we just went for. So artillery barrage this one as well. And the siege of Sirhind is done. We just now need to kind of capture all the provinces to the south here. I'll just send the groups there one by one. Can you guys do... No, you cannot go to Kashmir. What about Panyo? Yes, you can go there. Where will these guys retreat to? I think they'll retreat to the southeast then. Okay, we won. And yeah, that's the way they're going. We'll just keep following them. So it's the month of May now. We still have over half a year remaining. And the battle against Jungar is also going nicely, as you can see, despite the -2 modifier. Where are you guys gonna retreat to though? Yeah, probably not close enough for us to fight them right away. Now the group... Did we stack wipe Delhi group and I just didn't notice it? Let me just quickly check. It must have been because I don't see them. Ah, no, they're still here, aren't they? At least some of them must be. Yeah. So they're moving more towards the south. I'll just send you guys somewhere closer. Capturing some lonely 1k troops from Delhi. Now these guys are now heading Murta instead. Yeah. Wait, what? What's going on really? We are going to Murta. The enemy troops are going to Stekhavati. So this might be their destination. Oh, who knows really? Just making circles around here. Skardu is also done. You guys will just head south then. I'll split up a little bit. One group will go over here and the artillery will just go for Kashmir. You guys go to Jammu if possible. And we'll move the rest of you just slightly more towards the south. Seems like these troops will end up in Jundar. Also the siege of Lahore is done. That's the latest one we started. All of these troops can kind of spread out and take care of whatever troops Delhi is spawning around. Irtash. Do we have anybody near Irtash? Yes, we do. You guys go take care of the rebels. Wait, where are the rebels running right away? They're going to Ishim, sure. You can see another battle ongoing over here. You guys should get some reinforcements though, just in case. So hopefully our troops can hold on for 4 days. Siege of Karnoi is done as well. Just in time. Spread you guys out to take care of the rest of the provinces. Perfect. Yeah, we just need to make sure we capture all the provinces. The siege of Pera is done. Was that the last siege? Could have been. Good news in that case. And there's 45,000 troops who have been routed as well. Okay, now we got our reinforcements. We might not be able to stack wipe Delhi troops though. Because we got our reinforcements in there quite late. Yes, they get to retreat one more time. We'll just keep following them around. You guys move to the south as well. So half a year remaining, and we're almost done. You can see we're grabbing a lot of provinces. Okay, another group got stack wiped, and we'll send you guys to the freebies over here. And I believe another one is gonna be stack wiped again. You guys are heading to Nagaur. Sure, I'll follow you along. How about you guys just take a few extra freebies over here? Grab everything. Okay, another Delhi troop is done for. Yeah, everybody's doing something at least. You're already heading to Bangladesh. Okay, we'll take that into account. Nishapur. Where is Nishapur? So over here to the east. We can just send one of the infantry groups here to take care of the rebels. Now the next stop is Kholistan, and I think that's the final stop where we'll take care of the Delhi troops and finally stack wipe them. And in the meantime we can keep pushing to the south, because those are the last provinces that are not controlled by us. Okay, I guess that's the end of Delhi troops. Yeah, the numbers are quite impressive, so stack wiped again. And if we take a look at the troop counts, there's only like 40,000 troops remaining. We'll send a bigger group over here. And just one into each of the provinces that we do not occupy yet. You guys. Younger troops are trying to go and cause some havoc against our... Is it just artillery? Yeah, it is. So they might be in a little bit of a trouble. We do have some reinforcement nearby, but they will not make it there on time. Okay, Doti has been occupied by us. It is the month of July. Delhi is offering some peace deals already. I guess it's been a while, I just didn't pay attention if they were there before as well. Another Delhi troop stack wiped. And did we lose our artillery? No, we didn't actually. Okay, so actually the enemy lost their last troops. And it's 0-0-0 all across the board. That's a nice ending to the campaign. Fully getting rid of everything the enemy had to fight against us with. Just the rebels are at this point more dangerous than the enemy groups or troops, which are counted as a very round 0. Okay, I guess Delhi is still training some troops here and there. Now I do want to spread the troops out so that there's not much attrition, just because of habits. Yeah, let's see if these moves are gonna be sufficient or not. These are the last 3 provinces that we don't control yet. Oh, there's a bunch of troops over here as well. Please everybody find the province where there is nobody else yet. Thank you very much. Now, I do hope we can take care of the rebels over here. That would be awkward if we cannot. Khorasani separatists. And now we should be controlling all of Delhi. There's still some troops that are suffering from attrition. It's because there's a lot of troops here. You guys are also double stacked. This is just a rough terrain, I guess. We move a little bit. And we have some allies on the same province as us. Okay, basically just on time. It's the 9th of September at the moment. And I guess somewhere in November or so we'll just offer the peace deal. Take as much land as we can and then just check out how the map looks like after our most recent conquests. Seems to be like a close call regarding the rebels here. Let us take a quick look if there are any rebels that are enforcing their demands. Well, even if there are, they'll not be able to do it, of course, before the end of the game. So that is the end of the battle, or the war against Delhi, Jangar, and Arabia. Well, Arabia is already gone. I think we'll do separate peace deals with Jangar first. Let's just grab all the land we can. It doesn't matter if we go too much overextension, we'll just grab everything. We'll make it look pretty though. Yeah, just this big chunk over here. Gonna be 53% overextension, 100%-ish, 100 war score. But they don't mind because they cannot really do much about it. So that's one peace deal, and they are just negotiating for themselves. You can start the coring process, but doesn't really matter anymore. We do have some rebels that are spawning right away. Please take care of them. You guys are probably taking care of the rebels already, yeah. Who else is suffering attrition here? There's two groups over here, okay. And I guess in December we'll do the last peace deal. Otherwise we'll have a lot of rebels popping up everywhere, which we don't want to have. You could already see that kind of went a little bit more rebellious with our last overextension expansion. All the troops seem to be more or less okay with the situation right now. Okay, so let's see if any other rebels spawn in a few days in November. One of the rebels got taken care of. So we do have one rebel spawn, but that's about it. So now it's just the month of November to wait. In the meantime, we can take a look at the bigger picture. Not forgetting about the calendar though. Don't want to miss this opportunity to make a peace deal with Delhi. A minor inconvenience. Because we have so much overextension, there's going to be rebel sentiment. Now just a few more days. The end of the revolution in Mecklenburg. Sure. We're kind of actually very low on military power. Means we used it well. There was one more rebel group that spawned the Great Horde separatists. Okay, but it is time to make a peace deal now. And let's just see what we can grab. Surely we want to make this area consistent. And then maybe let's just go from the south to the north. For example, this area seems to be like something that should belong to us. And then we'll just grab all the provinces in a row here. You can see war score is 66 now. And we are almost grabbed everything we could. So that's a huge chunk of Delhi that we are grabbing. We will be gaining 187.5% overextension. Clearly not something we would be doing in the middle of a campaign, but at the end we can do that. So that was the Kilwan Delhian Imperialist War. We did lose 700,000. Oops. The enemy lost close to 1 million. So it was a net positive one for us. Start the coring process for whatever we can. Our corruption is also going up. Wow. That's an interesting situation. And how much is it going up? So overextension is 1.68. So it's half every year. But yeah, again, it doesn't matter. It's literally the end of the game. Can upgrade some great projects since we're here already. Okay. And yeah, we started coring everything we could. Our overextension is something I've never had before. 335.7%. Hopefully nothing bad happens, and never experienced this before. But the end of the game is nearby. So let's just take a quick look at the bigger picture again. In this campaign, probably one of my more successful campaigns, we basically took over most of Africa. We do have colonial vassal in the form of Kilwa in Australia, and basically took over all the lands in the south of Asia, just surrounded Shun fully, grabbed a little bit from Europe as well. And yeah, Middle East is basically just one war away or so from being ours as well. Let us take a look at the great powers. We are the first one with 17,500 development. Next is Spain with 4,416. And yeah, you can see how it goes down quite quickly when we get to the lower positions in the great powers list. Now let's just let the game roll until the end credits, and then we'll also get like an overview screen, and let's maybe also take a look at the timeline itself, how it all went down. Because I started streaming this campaign somewhere like 70 years ago. And yeah, I was just playing offline until then. I'm also curious like how we expanded. We had a lot of wars against Ottomans. Most of them we either white peaced, or I think once we even gave them a few provinces and then left the war. But they definitely hindered our progress in the early stages of the game. So this 25th of December, Christmas time. And it's about to be New Year's, which means the end of the game. So 30th December, 31st of December, and it's year 1821. And that is the end screen. So I will pause here for a little bit. We did have the largest army, the largest navy, the most provinces, the highest province value, the highest income, the highest trade income. And our historical score was 22,172. And it was an Iron Man campaign. No resets. So whoever is interested in statistics can always pause the VOD or the YouTube video and take a deeper dive. I will take a look at the timeline with you as well, just because I don't have all of it out there in terms of episodes. So let's take a quick look. We also still have some revolts going on. So this is how it all started. Quite like mosaic of countries. We started here as a relatively small country. And maybe let's just zoom out and I'm pretty sure we don't really have to take a look at the Americas because we didn't have much to do over there. It was just lands to take over by the European colonizers. But let's rather focus on where we did take a part in, and let's see how it folds or unfolds. Let's take a look at it at fast speed, for example. So you can see Kilwa is here just in Africa. Then we expanded a little bit towards the north. Then we jumped across this Gulf of Aden at some point. You can see Mamluks was still a thing. They were our allies for a while. Then we just started expanding along the coastline towards the north. Ottomans is not that big at this point in time, so it's 1525. But at some point Ottomans did eat Mamluks away, giving them an islet and also a lot of extra land, as you can see from here, I believe. And while this was happening, we were expanding ourselves along the coastline of Africa as well, where we met Burgundy out of that. Well, that was a little bit of surprise, and France was also colonizing over there. In the meantime, we could kind of grab Australia for ourselves until the Spanish basically arrived there. You can see Ottomans got bigger and bigger, but also we expanded more towards the east, I believe, at this point in time. Also, we're grabbing all of the Africa that we can by colonizing all of the provinces there in the south. And at some point, the Ottomans became small enough for us to also fight off. Don't remember exactly when that happened. But it was at some points it was really tough to fight against them. So you can see that Kilwa already has a strong foothold here where India is nowadays. And we're also taking care of Bengal. Delhi and Transoxiana were our allies for a long time. But at some point we had to break that alliance. Now we get closer to where Ayutthaya is supposed to fall. I guess now the changes are becoming faster and faster. Just because we were pushing war after war, basically non-stop. You can see Ayutthaya is basically disappearing from here, taking pieces of Shun. At some point we should be grabbing a piece that encircles Shun as well. And we at some point, yeah, so this was the Shun encirclement. Japan has also been disappearing without me pointing it out. And that is the end of the campaign. Was a learning experience as well to some extent. I still don't know yet how to do a world conquest, but probably be reading up on some materials on how to make it smoother. I don't want to do it with Ottomans though, that's a disclaimer. But yeah, thank you all for joining me on this Kilwan campaign. It's been a pleasure and also a learning experience in terms of streaming for the past 78 years of the campaign. So yeah, just a heads up. Thanks for anyone who checks out the VOD or checks out the videos on YouTube afterwards. They will all be up there, the ones that were streamed. And yeah, any future campaigns I'll try to stream and also upload fully, so you get a more wholesome experience from how we play EU4 in the Ooops squad. So Thank you all for watching and see you already at the next one. Bye.